Yep. Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be telling you about this LED matrix board that I made and how you can make one too. Let me go get it. Let's just start with the electronics. Right here, there is a Teensy 4.0. It has one wire, this yellow wire, going all the way to the input side of the LEDs. Since I bought strips, not like a PCB, they're strips, so they go along and they snake through back and forth until it gets here and it stops. Then there are positive and negative wires coming from this these main two nickel strips that are basically the power backbone of this entire board. This one is the negative nickel strip, and then this one's the positive nickel strip. And then I have two wires going to each strip of LEDs, and then there's data over here. This power supply is 40 amps, at least it's what it says it is. It does not look like it can do 40 amps, but yeah. Then I added this switch right here. There is really no point for this switch to be here, but as you can see, when I flick the switch, it turns on and starts going. And it cuts power for the entire LED strip. So when I flip this switch, the Teensy even dies. So it always starts from the beginning. And I just hacked up a random power cord that I found. And I took the ground, just routed it here, and then the two live and neutral wires go to through the switch to the power supply. I have a tiny capacitor on here just in case there is a voltage spike, so this Teensy doesn't explode, because the max input voltage is 5.5. I have 3 wires going here because this nickel strip can take the full amperage, but these wires, these are meant for a few amps, not 30, because this is a 40 amp power supply, but my LEDs only draw 30. So 2 of these wires could not do 30 amps. So I have 3, because at 10 amps these would get warm. So I just have 3 of them spaced out evenly. So I get voltage across the entire thing and amperage. And then I just have, I have 2 wires per joint on the nickel strip, because at the very end I had an odd number of strips, so I had 3 here and it was really hard to solder. So I soldered two wires per joint, and then the data just snakes through, like I said, through here, and it just goes along. So yeah, and I designed these little hangers because this power supply is 1 inch taller than the frame, so it goes on here. And first I hot glued them on so they would stay still, and then I screwed it. You can see right there, I screwed it on. And this is an IKEA frame. It's the one with the 5 small photos that you put the frame vertically with. And yeah, I just had this lying around, so I decided to use it. And that's the reason that the wires don't go all the way to the end, because I never planned for them to. I put parchment paper here. I want to get acrylic, but I put parchment paper on here just as a stand-in, so it's a diffuser. So on camera it looks much less bright than it actually is. Because if I didn't have this on here, it would be really washed out and look really ugly, so I decided to do it like this because it looks a lot cooler. Oh, yeah. I am running code that I found by another guy who does YouTube videos, he made one of these, but way smaller, and it was like this big. So I made a really big one, and I'm using his code, and I just changed the font a little bit so it's a tiny bit different, and it works perfectly. I also have another piece of code which my dad helped me with, which it basically has a like grid in it, and you fill that with ones or zeros. Ones are the LEDs that light up, and then zeros are the LEDs that don't light up. So you can draw out whatever you want in like any shape, but there's like I couldn't do it properly with the amount of LEDs I had, so I decided to scrap that idea. So I'm doing scrolling text until I figure out a way to have static text. I will leave links to like where I got this power supply, the Teensy, which is like the most important part. I'll also make a Thingiverse post and post these thingies on here in case you want to like use this exact frame and use these. And also I will leave a link to the LEDs which I got, and also some wire on Amazon, because most of these things I bought on Amazon. The power supply, the LEDs, and I believe the wire was also on Amazon, though I don't know. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button, and maybe comment something, because I don't know, YouTube algorithms. And also, make sure you check the links if you're interested, and yeah, I'm out.